Everybody.
What's good, guys? Prince Sports here. Hope everybody's doing well, but I want to talk about today the NBA and 5 rules that I thought changed the NBA forever. Okay? Big rules that had an impact on the NBA. All right? I'm going to start off with an honorable mention before I get into my top 5. One of my honorable mentions is 1995. The three-point line being a little more closer. They shortened the three-point line in 1995, and they enforced hand checking a little more. All right, that was all in 1995. All right, and they also kind of monitored hand checking. You were still allowed to do it, even though it was banned at one point in the early 70s, but then made a reemergence and came back, and players still was playing physical and rough anyway. So that's crazy, man. And okay, now it's time for my top 5 rules in the NBA that changed. Let's start off with 1991, okay? The emergence, the beginning of the flagrant foul, okay? Now, the effect of this flagrant foul was basically due to Detroit Pistons. They invented the flagrant foul, as you can see in some of these pictures right here. MJ getting hammered. And that was a daily thing when you go up against some teams like Detroit Pistons. The New York Knicks adapted it a little bit and made it an East Coast New York style playing basketball. But the thing was to focus and maintain the player's safety. So that's why flagrant fouls exist, because players were getting hurt too much because they was getting a little too physical. Elbows, smack to the face, punching and ads. That all took place during those days. All right. So number 4 was 2002, legalizing zone defense. Okay. Now, this was quote unquote to improve passing and ball movement. Okay. That's what the NBA says. But we all know who really added this rule and made it official. That was none other than Shaquille O'Neal. He was so dominant. All right. They had to make this rule to stop Shaq, to get him out that paint. Okay, that's all that came down to. And notice it came after he had his three-peat. Okay, because the NBA got tired of Shaquille O'Neal just planting himself in the post and dominating and winning. He could have won like the next 5 to 6 championships if they never put that rule in place in the NBA. Because he could have just sit back with his back turned to his basket. And once Shaq lift that big elbow and make this way, he was going to dunk on you. Okay, so that rule, I'm going to call the Shaquille O'Neal rule. All right, now 2005 is another one. That's number 3 on my list. Okay, 2005 was a groundbreaking year. Okay, not only did you have 2002, but you had 2005 in the same decade, the same era. You know what happened in 2005? They strictly forbid hand checking. Physical play was totally removed. Okay, this year was the same year LeBron had high scoring averages. Gilbert Arenas, everybody in the NBA was dropping buckets and scoring at a frantic rate. Okay, all because the NBA came up with this rule to limit hand checking for good. And they wanted the ball to spread a little more. They wanted offensive players to score more because that was the game for ratings. They wanted guys dropping 40, 50-point games with ease so it can make it more fun for people to watch, so to speak. Okay? Number 2, this one is something that I love that they put in place. And this took place in 2021. Okay? It's going to take place in as it has more of effect as years go by. Okay, but around 2020 and 2021, the NBA removed flopping from the game. Okay, you see guys don't flop that much no more, right? Because the NBA put the hammer down on the flopping a little bit too much. They introduced the fines. Okay, that was one thing. And after they put these fines in, that didn't stop flopping, but it slowed it down to a certain extent. And then they start putting down more of these rules to punish the player for flopping. You know, fines led to suspensions and missing games and this, that, and the third. And I like that rule. Okay, I like that rule. And it's going to get even more enforced in 2022 because Adam Silverman is going to make more punishment towards flopping. Because you still get some of it now, but it's very little now, right? It's starting to reduce, you know. And number one for me, all right, is none other than, take a guess, 1980. What happened in 1980? Okay, 1980 was a very historic year because 1980 was the invention of the three-point shot. Okay, we went from shooting 5 3-pointers a game to now attempting over 32 3-pointers a game. So the NBA took a big turn. The beginning of the change was 1980. Introducing that three-point line changed a lot. And now you see today's NBA players currently relying on the three-point ball. It's their livelihood, you know, shooting that three ball. And it's almost the number one problem with the NBA. It's just the constant three-point shooting, you know. Every possession is just a three-point shot. You know, guys going up and down the court shooting threes almost every possession, you know. And that's not good quality basketball, you know. And that's just the flaws and the effects that we got to deal with today's league, you know. And I hope they have some new rule to change three-point shooting, you know, to stop it a little bit. Maybe, I don't want to go to 5 attempts a game, but let's try to reduce it to 15 attempts a game. Maybe that would be better. You know, and the only way you could do that is by putting some rules, a defensive rule that could stop that. So, there you go, my top 5 rules that changed the NBA. Prince Sports out. Peace.